Alrighty, guys, we've gotten our first trailer for Spider-Man. And no, it's not our first trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day because that film hasn't even started filming yet. So, no, it's not anything Spider-Man Brand New Day. Actually, there was another Spider-Man related project that has been filming for, I think it actually wrapped filming a little while ago, very secretly, not secretly, but just kind of under the radar, and it's been filming, and it wrapped recently, and now we have our first tiny teaser trailer. As of the recording of this segment, and I don't know, maybe I'll... If the full trailer comes out, you'll never hear this because I'll re-record it and do a reaction for the full trailer that comes out. But as of right now, we have a tiny little teaser trailer that has surfaced online for Spider-Noir. Now, Spider-Noir, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is a live-action, I don't want to say adaptation, but live-action series based on the character originally from the comic book, Spider-Man Noir, who made his appearance in the movies in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, or Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And he was... part of the group with Penny Parker and Spider-Ham and all of those fun side characters in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And he was voiced, of course, iconically by Nicolas Cage. And he is also going to return, I believe, in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse as evidenced by the end of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But interestingly enough, right, because Sony, who owns these Spider-Man characters, Sony does not have a streaming service of their own. And so they're not developing these movies and TV shows for their own particular streaming service, much like how Disney Plus would make a Wonder Man series or a Vision Quest series, for example. What they're doing instead is offering to produce these series and sell them to other studios. And in this case, they have decided to sell the Spider-Man Noir distribution rights to Amazon Prime Video. So they're making a live-action series, not an animated series, a live-action series based on Spider-Man Noir. To be determined, I'm not entirely clear if this is the exact same multiversal Spider-Man Noir that appeared in Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse. We'll see. But this is going to be some kind of adaptation of that. And we got our very first look at it. And look, I mean, this is a show that I wasn't necessarily over the moon excited about. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the best TV show ever made. Nothing like that. I will say, though, I was intrigued because one of the best things about Spider-Man, those animated Spider-Man films, is that the supporting cast, right? Especially the way that they were written and how different they all were from one another. You know, Penny Parker and Spider-Ham and Spider-Man Noir were so different from one another. And I loved Nicolas Cage as the voice for Spider-Man Noir. I thought he brought such a funny, faux edginess to him that I thought was just incredible. And now he's returning to voice him and play him in live action. And I just, from the beginning of this little teaser, I love the atmosphere. That's the whole point, right? That's Spider-Man in a very noir, kind of 1900s, you know, a detective thriller sort of vibe. And I love that. I think that's awesome. And then, you know, on top of that, right, we have some shots here of action that looks really great. And I just think it's shot so well. I love, when done right, when these movies and shows kind of go for those old, I hesitate to use the word old, but different kind of genres or eras of filmmaking, right? Like how WandaVision was going for that, all the eras of the sitcoms, and how Fantastic Four First Steps is going for a 1960s retro vibe, which I think is awesome. You know, kind of like a Tomorrowland sort of a vibe here. And I love how Spider-Man Noir is digging straight into the noir aesthetic, and I think that it's awesome. The dark colors and the shadows and whatnot. And then, of course, at the end of the trailer, we get to hear Nicolas Cage's voice as Spider-Man Noir. He sounds great. Sounds like the character from the animated movies. And we get to see him. And it's just, I don't know, it's different, right? It's because obviously you're so used to the red and blue and black. And this is just a completely dark with the eyes illuminated in the shadow. I like it. Honestly, I again, this is not a project where I'm over the moon excited about it and whatnot. I'm just, you know, I'm excited. But I'm not... again, I wasn't one of the people who was like, oh, this is made for me and whatnot, but I think watching this little teaser trailer has gotten my excitement up, and I can't wait to see it. I think that it's going to be a really fun series, and I think that it, we'll see the kinds of things that they're able to pull off here. I'm very excited that they're making a series off a character like this that's just going to be a one-off. I think, right? I don't think we're going to get live-action versions of Spider-Gwen and whatnot in this show, but we'll see. I'm very excited about that. Guys, what do you think about the first tiny little teaser for Spider-Noir, as the series is called? Let me know in the comments down below.